I probably scared the pants off you out there before. Your expression says it all. Who is this mad lady who came jumping out at me out there in the hall?
I must say you're very perspicacious, because that is exactly what I was thinking.
Everything is ready, my darling. Do not be afraid. Soon we'll be together again.
Welcome to Hello, This is the Dune Show. I am Richard.
I am Brad.
We are here on this September 1st Eve, on Friday the 13th, on a Sunday, to talk about 2009, A Year in Horror.
What a great year.
I know.
This was.
Remember when that movie came out that time?
And we saw it?
Yeah.
I do. Richard, why are we here? Why are we here tonight? What are we doing?
We are not talking about the prom night movies, even though we said that's what we were going to do. We got derailed, y'all. But it's for a good reason, I think.
The good kind. Yes, the good kind of derailed.
Okay, so I finished Giallo Meltdown, a Moviethon Diary. The book. So to celebrate the book, I thought we'd do at least one Giallo themed episode. What's the Giallo we've picked to talk about?
Lambava's 1980-something classic, A Blade in the Dark.
Baby. Love it. Yeah, the book is available for sale. Oh, look out. The book is available for sale. It's at Amazon.com and CreateSpace.com, and you can get the Kindle version and blah blah blue. I will provide links on this episode so you can go buy the book.
I am holding said book in my hands. If Richard's telling the truth, I was the first one to buy it.
I'm pretty sure you were, dude.
Which is, I barely beat out Scott McDonald. Eat it, Scott.
Yeah, Scott's like, I'm the first one to order it. I bet I ordered it before Brad. And I said, no, Brad already ordered it. He's like, oh. He said, but I'm foiled again because I'm from Scotland. No, he doesn't talk like that. I don't even know what that accent was.
No, don't eat it, Scott. Read it. Read it, don't eat it.
That's right. Or read it.
Beautiful, man. It is a beautiful book. I implore you all to spend your hard-earned $16 on this book. Read the first paragraph of the introduction, and if that does not convey to you how you feel about the wonderful subgenre that we call the Giallo, then you don't have a heart, sir, or madam.
Hey, whatever Brad says about the book is true. I totally believe him.
It's a print-on-demand book, which is the only way to do a book these days, I think.
Yep.
Because more money goes... Exactly. Save the trees. But it does not look like what you might be afraid of. It is very well done. It's cut nicely. The typeface, brilliant. Easy on the eyes. It's formatted very well. And it's full of Richard Glenn Schmidt. I don't know what else you'd want, people.
Oh, my God.
It really is, in all seriousness, a beautiful book. And everyone, if you're listening to this show, why don't you own it? Because it came out this week, that's why. But when you hear this, if you haven't bought it, buy it.
You're making me blush. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All true. You are my very good friend. And you have done us all a service because it's a great book. You may be saying, hey, I've read those on Richard's blog. No, you haven't. You have read 5, possibly, and he's even gone back and freshened those up a little bit. The spirit of them, still there. He's just tightened it up a little bit. But there's 13, not 5. So you can chronologically go along with Richard, and if you're like me, this is how you got to know Richard in the first place. What's Richard eating right now during this Giallo-thon? He tells you. Did Richard go to 7-Eleven? Maybe he did, and maybe he did. You know what I'm saying? Did he walk the dog? Yeah, he did. The dog needs walking. The dog doesn't just stop need walking just because he's watching a bunch of Giallo. The dog needs walking. And Richard did it. So he was taking care of business. TCB, y'all. YOLO. Buy the book. Just buy the book.
I don't think I've ever heard you this excited about anything.
I was pretty excited about The Conjuring.
Oh my God, that's true. That's true. The Conjuring.
Yep. No, it's a great book. I mean, this is
God.
not just some corn-pone moron like me writing a book. This is Richard.
Did you say corn pone?
I did.
Oh my God, you are definitely corn pone moron, sir. How dare you? Oh my God, thank you. Wow, I'm gonna buy the book.
It's true though. You should. After that, you should buy it.
Oh my goodness. So, that's just the commercial for the book. I'm going to cut that out and just have it typed up and just send that to people as a promotional material. Love it. But yes, 1983 is the year that Lamberto Bava, or Lambava as we lovingly refer to him here, directed A Blade in the Dark. Let me play a little music because this is one of those really long Giallo trailers that I don't like because they show too much of the movie.
Right.
And they're just too damn long. So I'm going to play a little snippet of the music, which is by Guido and Maurizio De Angelis. It's a fantastic piece of music. So I'm going to play some. Oh, let me go get the DVD. I forgot to grab the DVD. Hold on.
The trailer is too long, like the movie.
Obviously, this is a Giallo that can be spoiled when you reveal the ending, so we're going to warn you now. If you haven't seen A Blade in the Dark, you need to watch it. It's awesome. So there's your final warning. Now I'm going to read the back of the DVD case, which does not tell you the ending. Promise. Bruno, Andrea Occhipinti of New York Ripper, is hired to compose the music for a new horror movie and rents an isolated villa to concentrate on his work. But when several beautiful young women are brutally murdered within the house, Bruno becomes obsessed with solving the savage crimes. Is a clue to the killer's identity hidden within the film itself, or is there a more horrifying secret lurking deep in the dark? There you go.
Somebody is mowing the fucking yard, and for that I apologize.
They're mowing the yard? I thought you lived in a house with concrete slabs.
There's still grass out there.
Oh, that's a weird time to be doing it.
Well, the sun never goes down in the summer here.
Oh, same here. Oh my goodness. It's light so late.
Oh, like I went to bed the other night and the sun was still up, and I felt bad for a nanosecond, but then I just went to sleep.
The first thing that you need to know about this movie is that Bob is back.
That's right.
And by Bob, I mean the lovely voiced young man from House by the Cemetery, played by Giovanni Freza. You know what's funny is here he has the same exact voice actor portraying him as he does in House by the Cemetery.
I think they had a deal going on.
Yeah, they had a deranged woman pretending to be a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's so funny. The little boy is being teased by his friends because he won't go exploring in a scary basement. And they start chanting, "Female, you're a female." Come on, Brad. Female,
you're a female, you're a female.
You're...
Which no boy would ever say at all, ever, under any circumstance.
They'd say, "You have a vagina instead of a penis."
Yeah. Or you're a girl, or you're a chicken.
You have your butt sewed up, you're stupid.
Any of those.
Yeah.
But not you're a female.
I don't want to watch Human Centipede 3. Let's not watch that.
Well, I didn't see the first two.
Me neither. This is awesome.
How can they keep making the same movie over and over where people get their mouth sewed to people's butts?
I think James Wan should do that with his movies.
It would look better.
It would look better.
Yeah.
Okay, Let's see you do it. Show us that you're not some little girl. Go on down the stairs and get it.
Down there?
Yeah. The ball, go get it.
Female, you're a girl if you don't get the ball.
Female, you are a female, you are a female, you are a female.
We get some Stanko Molnar. Stanko Molnar is an actor who plays Giovanni, the groundskeeper. The sleazy, creepy groundskeeper in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We do meet Bruno, played by Andrea Occhipinti. He is composing the music for that horror film, which we see at the beginning, because we get a nice movie within a movie here. So he's in this house, and he is got some amazing reel-to-reel machines.
Oh, yeah.
A cool synthesizer, piano, microphone, sound equipment porn.
Yes, most definitely.
He's talking to the guy who is renting him this place, this beautiful villa, and it's Tony, played by Michele Soavi.
Absolutely.
Let's see, we hear about, we don't meet her right away. Who's the director chick? Sandra. Sandra is played by Annie Papa. I like her name.
It's a cool name.
She is the director of said film, and she picked Bruno to compose the horror movie music because he's never composed it before.
That's right.
But there's a big surprise coming with her movie because the mysterious final reel is a secret.
No one's seen it.
Nope.
To compose a score like this, am I the right one?
Bruno, you were the only choice for this. I didn't want it to be typical. You're new to this kind of score. And the villa where you'll stay and where you'll do your work is a sufficiently scary place to inspire you. It's very large, very isolated.
It takes about 2 seconds before the box cutter from Mario Bava's Shock to show up.
Yes, it does.
We know that Bava worked on Shock, which was Mario Bava's last film. He kind of co-directed it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if I owned the giant All the Colors in the Dark book, I'd know every single detail.
I read on Shock. That was one of the things I did one day when I was sick, is that I watched Shock and then I read the chapter on Shock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember a whole lot, but it seems to me that about halfway through the production, Mario handed it over to Lamberto, who was assistant director anyway. So he'd had input into it.
Yeah. This mysterious box cutter is being wielded by an unseen maniac who does not like Playboy magazine.
No.
Bruno, when he's not composing music, apparently is furiously masturbating at the piano.
Apparently.
I don't know why he has the Playboy next to the piano. Maybe there's an interview with him in that magazine.
It's possible.
But the crazy person slices up the boobies on one of the pictures. And immediately, this movie gets really creepy. It's a lot of fun. We get whispering voices and shadows. And, of course, the aforementioned amazing music, which is really eerie. And the villa is just a big, cool house.
Mm-hmm.
And in this movie, of course, when you're in one location for a movie, if the director's any good, he'll make it the setting its own character. So the villa and the grounds around it really become part of the movie.
I wonder, the scenes that you see that aren't at the villa, I wonder if they weren't at the villa, really. Because the story was that Luciano Martino had bought this villa, and the idea was to film the entire thing there.
Yep.
So I wonder when they're at the movie studio where they're viewing the film, I wonder if that's not really shot at the villa as well.
Right.
May not be.
Well, it's weird. There's a part of the villa that looks like a bunch of offices.
Yeah.
It's like, it's supposed to be downstairs, and it just looks like, not cubicles, but like just weird sectioned off rooms. Maybe it was a brothel.
Possibly.
Hey, why not?
For legal purposes, I will not fully go into the details, but I used to hang out at a place that was very similar to this villa. And it was a very creepy place. And I always think of that when I see this.
Nice. So we are interrupted by the first lady of the movie. Well, we've met Sandra. She'll interrupt later. But the first woman that really interrupts the movie is Katia. And Katia is played by Valeria Cavalli.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what a spider is. Bruno...
Or does she?
Bruno doesn't know what a spider is.
Right.
He's walking through a creepy hallway, down this like long hallway of doors, like closet doors, and Katia comes bursting out of there, and she's screaming because there's a spider in there. Bruno says, "That's not a spider, that's a cockroach," and then they show a shot of a spider.
Right.
Oh, please kill it! I've never been so afraid in my life. It's a spider there on the floor.
It's not a spider, it's a cockroach.
And that's the first indication that this dubbing is brilliant.
But just crazy.
It's amazing. Some of my favorite dubbing is contained within this movie.
She says, "How are you in the feathers?"
Oh my god.
And I honestly think, and I know we're going to get into this, but I want to say it now, I honestly think this film would be more highly regarded with an Italian language track with subs. I love the dubbing, but it's pretty silly.
Now, this movie has a couple of problems. That is a very good point. We'll get to my main problem with this film, which I know for a fact you probably have the exact same feelings about it.
We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Musician? I adore musicians. They're really great in bed. How are you in the feathers?
So Katia, hangs out for a bit after flirting with Bruno, and then she makes her exit to the grounds of the villa while she's being stalked by a killer. We see a swimming pool at night, which, one of my favorite things in horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Katia is attacked by the killer who's wielding this box cutter, and her death scene is pretty hilarious. I mean, it's brutal, but she hides in an unfinished part of the house behind some chicken wire.
Chicken wire?
Yes.
Will not save you.
No, especially not from the flying box cutter of doom.
Right.
And it's a great... It's like a really cool scene. It's really well shot. But she could move to the left, to the right. She could keep moving, dodging. But she just kind of leans up against the chicken wire and just screams a lot.
Yep.
I really love this camera work. Like, man, this movie is all about the little details. I mean, the only thing this movie cares about more than like the small clues and details is cigarette smoking.
Right.
If you were trying to quit smoking, it would not be good to watch this movie.
Mm-mm.
So Katia's disappeared. There's some blood that splattered on the leaves as her body's dragged away by the killer. And so Bruno's starting to suspect that something's going on. He calls the police. The police come in and test the blood he found. They determine that there was, in fact, a murder. And they catch the killer immediately because of all the circumstantial and forensic evidence. And it's just a really short film.
Yep, Lamberto Bava is the killer.
I wish he would kill me.
No, you don't.
Oh, okay, I wish Mario would do it. From the grave! Just kidding, there's no forensics.
No forensics. No, he doesn't even call the cops, does he?
Nope, never in the whole movie.
I didn't think so. I watched this yesterday.
Yeah, spoiler alert, no cops. Julia shows up, and the movie has to become more bitchy.
Right.
Julia is played by Lara Lamberti. She is Bruno's girlfriend, and oh man, Bruno is a very kind, patient, and understanding man.
I thought she was the most attractive woman in the film.
She's very cute. I find Katia the most attractive for some reason. But no,
really?
Julia's very pretty. She's just a fucking jerk.
Yeah, I suspect that Bruno is very passive-aggressive, and probably more passive than aggressive.
Interesting.
Well, she's like, you don't care about me. He's like, well, there's been a murder here, and I'm trying to figure it out because I live here. And she's like, all you want to do is talk about Claudia getting murdered. And he's like, well, once again, I live here, and there's been a murder. And she's like, oh, I'm leaving. He's like, well, be careful because there's a murderer out there.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. We forgot Katya's diary. He finds Katya's diary.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like a 12-year-old made it because Katya is obviously mentally handicapped.
Snoopy stickers, hearts over eyes. I mean,
my God. But the diary reveals that she knows Linda's secret. Dun, dun, dun.
And Linda was the tenant before Bruno.
Yes. Bruno immediately suspects that since the diary said that she knows Linda's secret, before he could finish reading the thing, I almost said the diary gets killed by the killer, but it kind of does.
The diary gets killed again.
The pages Linda mentioned have been ripped out. So then Angela shows up, and this Angela person is played by Fabiola Toledo, which is an awesome name. She was friends with Katya, and this is a weird detail. I don't know if you noticed this. She and Katya were models together. And they sometimes specialize in door-to-door
sales.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. She asks him if he wants to buy a copy of a book, and she fumbles the title.
I don't even remember that. All I remember is the door-to-door models.
She's like, would you like to buy a copy of blah, 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 blah? And he's like, no, I wouldn't.
I think she was selling Giallo Meltdown.
She may have been.
Damn.
Also, she said they lived very close by, 10 blocks away. Which I didn't think was very close.
No. Oh, man.
But when she goes inside to wash her hair, Elizabeth says, why is she washing her hair there when they live so close? I'm like, because they don't live that close. It's 10 blocks away. That's far.
It's ridiculous. Hey, any excuse to get her there.
Were you friendly with Katya a very long time?
We roomed together. Our place is very near here, about 10 blocks. We're models. And sometimes sales girls specializing in door-to-door. It's not dangerous and it pays pretty good. Hey, listen, I don't suppose you're interested in the culture of pre-Columbia.
No.
I saw beautiful photographs and they don't cost much.
No, really, thanks.
Oh, well, nice try. Ciao.
But yeah, like you said, Angela's there to use the pool. So she goes swimming and we get this amazing pool sequence. The killer has thrown the box cutter into the bottom of the pool, and Angela retrieves it.
Uh-huh.
Angela is going to die very badly.
Very, very. You feel very bad for her.
Yeah. One thing this movie doesn't skimp on is the brutal murders.
No.
She's in the bathroom, washing her hair in the sink after swimming, and the killer takes a huge long knife from the kitchen and stabs her through the hand. And while she's pinned to the counter, the killer smothers her with a plastic bag while bashing her face into the sink.
Ugh.
Not nice.
No.
Then slashes her throat, and we finally get to hear the whimpering, gibbering freak out of this killer, this woman with very wonderful fashion sense.
Very. It is as if your second grade librarian had gone on a murder spree.
I think she did.
Possibly.
But yeah, man, I gotta say, the movie just, I mean, this is a great, great sequence. Like,
oh yeah.
Holy shit. It's just wild.
There's blood everywhere.
Oh, it's crazy.
Everywhere.
While the killer's trying to clean it up with tissues and... So, despite the best efforts of said killer in getting rid of Angela's body and cleaning up the blood, there's still so much evidence left behind that Bruno was just like finding the hole from the knife in the cabinet. He's finding what I think are supposed to be parts of Angela's teeth in the sink.
No, that's her necklace.
Oh, it's her necklace? The little pearls?
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I think it's her
my
necklace.
God. Thank you. I was so confused. I was like, those don't look like teeth.
No, she is wearing, when she changes into her bathing suit, when old Stenko Molnar is watching her, which she appears to enjoy because she comes out and seems pretty pleased that he's been watching.
Oh, yeah.
She is wearing, I think she's wearing that necklace, so I'm pretty sure that it's...
Yeah, she always gives good old Giovanni, the creepy groundskeeper, an eyeful whenever she changes from her clothes to the bathing suit.
Right.
We see Bruno is just like getting more and more obsessed with this entire proceeding here, and it's like a lot of other giallos where the lead character becomes obsessed with solving a crime. It's like, I'm so tired of seeing this. Just kidding.
Just joking.
Wah, wah.
I'm recording this just in case anything happens to me. I'm nearly positive that I've uncovered a chain of murders, admitting at the same time another possibility, that the whole thing is in my imagination, or very powerful autosuggestion. But I don't think that's the case. Too much proof to the contrary. In the house where I sit, something hellish has happened. What was the secret that Katya knew? Who is Linda? Linda. I feel her presence. And its name is death. It hovers all around me. Yet somehow I'm not afraid of it. I find it fascinating.
Sandra decides to show up and check on Bruno to see how he's doing on the score for the film that she's directing. She says my favorite line in probably any giallo...
all of cinema history.
Yeah, in all of cinema history.
This is all the whiskey you possess?
Oh, man. When
you had said that to me so many times, and I did not realize... Where was I? Oh, it was... I was at the book sale this weekend at Half Price Books, and you texted me that. I'm like, holy crap, is that in that movie? You're like, yeah. I'm like, I completely forgot.
My friend Shelley was the one who picked up on that line when we were watching it, of course, which is recorded in the book. And Shelley and I have been saying that to each other for years. Shelley didn't even remember what movie it was from, but she remembered that line perfectly.
Yeah, because I was so excited when she said, how are you in the feathers? I'm like, this movie is a riot.
This is all the whiskey you possess?
Sandra and Bruno start exploring the other parts of the house, looking for more clues. They find a big box of tennis balls, which of course is what reminds Sandra that she knows more about this than she realized.
Interesting.
Linda was obsessed with tennis and blah, 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 blah. I don't remember the rest of her remembrance of Linda.
The difference between fantasy and reality often becomes minimal.
She asks him, she says, he tells her that Linda lived there before he did, and she says, Linda? How old was she? Elizabeth's like, her last name, what'd she look like? No, you ask her age.
Yep, that's exactly. Well, maybe she's just obsessed with it. She's been in Hollywood too long, man.
Maybe so.
Oh, man. So Sandra goes back to finish working on the film.
There, you see, all's well that finishes well, or whatever the guy said.
We get some more ridiculousness with Bruno and Julia. In fact, we even start to think maybe Julia might be involved in these killings somehow.
You know, for a moment down there, I really thought you were going to try and kill me.
And now you'll always wonder about that, won't you? Wait, I have a surprise for you.
Some revelations happen, and Sandra gets killed by her own movie?
Yes.
Oh, this is great.
Which is about as meta as you can get.
Oh, very meta. The killer shows up to the movie studio and destroys the final reel of the film with a pair of scissors. And then somehow when Sandra goes, and she's wearing the greatest outfit ever. She's wearing this, like, amazing 80s ensemble because, 1983. And she gets strangled by the killer with the final reel of her movie, which the killer, realizing how meta it is, does a happy dance. This killer is dragging her very dead corpse around. It's amazing. We get a big chase sequence at the end where Julia is in danger of getting killed. Bruno is on his way back. He thinks he knows what's going on. Right when he gets there to save Julia, she gets totally killed by the killer.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. She's like running, like, oh, Bruno! And then, blat, knife through the back, out between the middle of the boobs. Amazing. And then we find out who the killer is, so here's your spoiler, in case you haven't seen the movie. Skip this part. Jeez. Who's the killer, Brad?
Spoiler alert. The killer is Michele Soave.
Oh, shit. Poor Tony has been living as Linda ever since a traumatic event where his little buddies made fun of him into turning him into a female? Or was it his parents that raised him like a girl or made him crazy? What was the deal?
It was his friends.
Oh. You know
which I don't think they're friends, really.
No, those are bad people. You know who turned me into a female?
Who?
Stanko Molnar. Oh, baby.
Well, I'm telling you.
I have such a crush on that guy.
Oh, man. Stanko.
So, after Mr. Bruno manages to kill Tony, in self-defense, of course.
He hits him with a brick.
He hits him with a brick, and then I think he stabs him to death. And as Tony's dying, he says, "Not a female child. Not a female child.
Not a female child. Not a female child."
And they show the last reel of Linda's movie, and poor Bob, a.k.a. young Tony, a.k.a. little boy, played by the amazingly dubbed Giovanni Freza, walks up the stairs with the frickin' Swiss Miss wig on his head.
Oh, it's terrible.
If they had made this fucking wig out of yarn, it would have looked more convincing.
I'm telling you.
And of course, he's in a little dress, and the big reveal is that, oh my god, he's been living as a woman. And tennis balls bouncing on the wall with blood. Booyah.
Poor Sandra. Without knowing it, she understood everything.
Yeah, she was right about Linda, but she didn't know it was Tony's alter ego. His ego as a child was too fragile, which caused his masculinity to regress. But he couldn't kill his alter ego, so he projected his anger onto other girls, wishing to kill the girl in himself.
Only why the murders? I don't understand.
The answer is simple, Carlo. He knifed those girls to show that he wasn't scared.
Brad, how do you like this movie?
Well, believe it or not, I have a lot to say. For a change. One, I did not like this movie until yesterday.
Nice.
True. I thought it was way too long. Even knowing that it was made for TV, I thought it was too long. But somehow everything clicked last night. It is basically Lamberto Bava's love letter to Dario Argento, Tenebrae specifically.
Right.
It's got the very bright look to it, like Tenebrae. The swimming pool scene where the box cutter is in the bottom and she jumps in and she swims she sees it before she goes into the pool. So she jumps in and you're like, she's going to go for it, but she swims all over the place. Which immediately reminded me of the scene in Tenebrae where Argento goes all over the outside of that house before we get to where we're going. And I thought this very Tenebrae-ish, where she just swims all over the pool, up and down, below, and all this, and then finally she gets the knife. The whole musician part is straight up deep red.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. But there are also a few little nods to the work of his father, I think. The red telephone, which you see several red telephones in Mario's work. I don't know if that was just something that was very common in Italy, a red telephone, but it seems to me that would be a callback. There's a shot of a doorknob opening. That's something you find in a lot of Bava films, like The Girl Who Knew Too Much and Barren Blood. Also, the diary holding a key piece of information is pretty much what the entire film of Blood and Black Lace is predicated upon.
Oh, yeah.
When Angela sticks her head through the hedges, I thought, where are all these beautiful women coming from? And then later when the killer goes just nuts with the gibberish after she kills Angela, and then when she's dragging Sandra around, I'm like, this is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She is Leatherface, and she's like, where are all these teenagers coming from? I have to kill them all. It did. It reminded me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where you're like, the killer's like, these beautiful women keep showing up. I have to kill them.
Nice.
I don't understand. And with, of course, the crazy gibberish and the dragging her around seemed like a very Leatherface kind of thing to do.
Absolutely. Good call.
The mystery is paper thin. And I don't even normally guess. I do sometimes in mystery shows that we watch, but in Giallo, I rarely ever guess, but this is paper thin. I don't think that it was his intention to really focus upon the mystery. I think the stalking scenes was where Bava really, really focused on, because there's a brutal death every 30 minutes, as if it were a TV show, which it was originally filmed for a TV series. The deaths were far too brutal to be shown on television at the time. The death of Angela may still be too brutal to just show in primetime television. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But I don't know, for some reason it just clicked with me yesterday. I really enjoyed it. It's too long, but I don't know. I got to thinking, okay, it's too long. What would you cut? What are you going to say tomorrow in the show about what needs to be cut? And I'm like, I can't. The stalking scenes are pretty long, but what would you cut out of them?
Yeah.
You know? And it's like you said, the villa itself is such a fantastic set piece that they really worked with what they had. And it worked out really well. Andrea Okampiti, he still is an actor. He's in Michael Haneke's The White Ribbon, which I really enjoy. And I didn't even realize it. And I think he's a producer as well. But no, there's a lot of Argento in this. But then there's, I think, subtle nods to Mario, too. Because Mario had only been dead like 3 years when this movie was made. And I've given Lamberto a hard time in the past. But to carry the burden of being the son of one of the greatest directors, in my opinion, that ever lived has got to be huge. Does he have the style of an Argento or a Mario or a Fulci? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the style of a Michele Soavi. But whenever you see interviews, he's just so jovial. It just makes me feel bad for doubting him, you know? And you've got to think he's probably done better financially because he's done a lot of TV and whatnot. It's a very workmanlike director, Lamberto is, I think.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's just always smiling, and you're just like, I like Lamberto. I did not like this film, but last night I just got into a groove and just went with it. And I think that is the best way to enjoy this film. The dialogue, the dubbing is atrocious, but it's also a plus. It's also a big reason why I like it. I think that if you were to sit down and watch an Italian language version with subtitles, it would be a lot more serious instantly. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But no, I really like this film.
Yeah, I've always liked this film, but it definitely gets better with multiple viewings. Totally agree with you. This is way too long. I don't care what you'd cut. I would cut it. Like, this is... Lamberto Bava edited this himself. And I think that didn't help. And the fact that it was 4 episodes of a TV series that never aired did not help.
No.
But there's the stalking scenes leave them. I think a lot of the coda at the end where they're watching the film and trying to explain the killer.
It's psycho. It's straight up psycho.
Yeah, just show the clip of frickin' the young boy dressed as a girl and just leave it alone.
You're totally right. It's 1 hour and 48 minutes long, and there's definitely 18 minutes to cut.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's crazy.
I just don't know. I wouldn't touch the stalking scenes because I think those are the centerpieces.
Perfect. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. I like this one. I don't recommend this one for people who are just getting into Giallo. I think it's good to kind of pick this one up later if you've seen a bunch. I really, really like Andrea Occhipinti. He was also in New York Ripper and Conquest.
Uh-huh.
Some of the other cast I got here, Annie Papa, who played Sandra. She's in The Great Alligator, directed by Sergio Martino, which I've never seen.
I haven't either.
I've always been a little curious about it. Angela, the bathing beauty, was Fabiola Toledo. She was in Demons. Michele Soave, who was Tony. Obviously, we love Michele Soave on this show. He is a fine director. I keep hoping he'll do some more horror movies, because he's still directing. But he's also in every frickin' Italian horror movie for many years. Lots of cameos, lots of bit parts. Valeria Cavalli, who played Katia. She was in Mother of Tears.
Really?
Yep. Let's see, Stanko Molnar was in Lamberto Bava's Macabre and his La Machera de Demonio, which was Bava's attempt to remake Black Sunday as a horror movie in the mountains.
Ugh.
Crazy. I have yet to watch that one.
I watched it.
Oh boy. Lara Lamberti, who played Julia, the wonderful girlfriend. She was in Fulci's Enigma, coming soon to this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Giovanni Frezza. We know him from, what did we just talk about? Manhattan Baby.
Uh-huh.
And House by the Cemetery. Lamberto Bava, Lambava, Demons. What else did he do? You'll Die at Midnight and Delirium, Photos of Gioia, Demons 2, and man, I like what you had to say about him. He's definitely an awesome director. He has a style that's hard to pin down, but I think he has his own style apart from his father.
I want to say, I've only seen You'll Die at Midnight once, but I'm thinking that it is a better Giallo.
Yeah, it had more of a, let me rephrase that, it had less of a stupid-ass mystery.
Right.
Not a lot of likable characters in that one, though.
Everyone in this is pretty likable.
Exactly, yeah. I totally agree with you there.
If you haven't seen it and you're going to, I would say that if you just go into it knowing it's too long, but if you just settle in, I think you'll enjoy it.
Have you seen Body Puzzle?
No, you actually sent me Body Puzzle. I've not seen it yet.
I think you might like that one. It's fucking ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really... It has a great line in it. What's the quote? I went on a safe sex binge. Yeah, it was pretty stupid. So, I think somebody actually says that in the movie.
Have you seen Blast Fighter?
No, I have not seen Blast Fighter.
I like Blast Fighter. That's probably my favorite Lamberto film, Lambava film, which is ridiculous because it's not even a horror film.
Dude, I'll watch it. It sounds great.
I know the poster art. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. All right, so tell me a little bit about Lambava and you. Where does this film slot into? What's your favorite that you've seen?
Well, I'm kind of making peace with Demons. I loved Demons as a kid. And then in the early 2000s, I watched Demons and I was just not impressed. But I've since picked up the Blu-ray and we're going to do it for a movie party crew where hopefully you and me and Scott McDonald and Shane, we sit up late one Saturday night and watch Demons together.
I might do that one.
I think you should.
I'm probably not going to do Bloody Moon because I just watched it.
Right. But yeah, I think I'm going to revisit Macabre pretty soon, which was Lambava's debut. I kind of like that movie. Like this one, it's a little too long.
Uh-huh.
But it's a good one too. I'm having trouble remembering more Lambava movies off the top of my head.
You'll Die at Midnight?
Yeah. I like this one better than You'll Die at Midnight.
I have to revisit that one to really... Yeah. I think it's paced better.
Delirium, Photos of Gioia is batshit crazy. It is. I mean, that is a perfect double feature with Body Puzzle. Like, oh man, what the hell just happened? I've also seen Ghost Son.
Oh, yeah.
Which Lambava did in like 2005 or 6. And that is a very interesting movie.
Really?
He actually rips off a couple of ideas from Shock, but it's, 26, 27 years later, so who cares?
Right.
But it's a very competently made film with some real actors, an international cast. It has just enough batshit crazy where you're like, oh wait, Italian horror, I forgot,
Right.
But if you can track down Ghost Son, it's pretty good.
Interesting.
Let's see. This was produced by Lambava, Mino Loy, and Luciano Martino. If you look up Martino and Mino Loy, you'll see a crazy, amazing list of just so many awesome things they produced. I'm not even going to go into all of it now.
Yeah, Luciano was Sergio's brother, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
The music by Guido and Maurizio De Angelis. So good. This score is great. They did the music for Torso, Street Law, Big Racket, like every Italian genre you can think of. Between the two of them, they've covered it somewhere. Cinematography is by Gian Lorenzo Battaglia. He worked with Lambava a lot. He's done Demons, Demons 2. He did the really crazy movie Witchery with David Hasselhoff.
Oh, yeah.
And Linda Blair, of course. He also directed something I've been really curious about. I don't know. I think my curiosity may get the best of me. It's Miami Golem with David Warbeck.
Oh, yeah.
I've always wanted to see that. I think I'm going to get burned on that one.
Yeah, who was it? Somebody talked. You must have talked about this to me recently.
About that one?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Somebody did. I don't know anybody but you, so it had to be you.
Before we move on completely from Blade in the Dark, I have one little thing here from good old Spaghetti Nightmares.
Right.
There's a, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4-page interview with good old Lambava from that book. And when asked about Blade in the Dark, he says, this film was made on 16mm film, later blown up to 35mm, and we only had 3 weeks to complete the shooting. We only had one movie camera lens, and our cameraman borrowed others from a friend of his. We used the producer's house and 3 or 4 young unknown actors. Making the film was sort of a bet, and established my reputation as a director who made films quickly and cheaply. And
it worked.
Oh, it totally works. And the rest of the interview just about that confirms what you were saying, Brad, about how it was a TV show and how they were trying to make something happen every half an hour and all that jazz.
I'm not going to lie, I was vibing.
What?
Yep. No, I was vibing last night. It's a different vibe. It's definitely a Tenebrae vibe. It's an 80s. But no, I really enjoyed it, it surprised me because I picked this film thinking Richard will enjoy watching this and doing
I definitely did.
A show on it, and thinking that I don't know that I will, but I want to see it again. Mm-hmm. And I was so glad I did because it's so stupid because there's so many reviews out there of this that are like, this movie is not very good. And here I am. I did think that, and now I've come the other way where I'm like, yeah, I like this.
Nice.
Like you said, it's not something you would want to show somebody ever, whether they were new or an old hand. But if you go in knowing it's too long, I mean, it's almost as long as it took them to make it.
It's in real time.
Exactly. But no, it's just,
hey, if you walked for 10 blocks,
yes,
you could walk this entire movie.
Exactly. No, I like it. I'm glad we did it.
Heck yeah, me too. It's good stuff. One other thing, we were kind of like shooting some ideas for a question time back and forth, and we decided to briefly discuss another 80s Giallo. We will not spoil anything, so you can feel free to listen to my clock go blip blip.
Blip, 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 blip.
We're going to talk about a movie called Nothing Underneath from 1985. Which
Yes.
did you watch it a couple days ago or last night? Or
I watched it Monday, yeah.
nice. This is from Carlo Vanzina, 1985. Sotto il vestito niente. I'm going to play a little bit of the amazing music from this movie real quick, just to set the mood. Now, strangely enough, this movie has a sequel, which I've never seen, from the same director, Carlo Vanzina. In the mid-2000s, he did a sequel to this, which Justin sent me a copy of, and I'm going to save it for the next Giallo Meltdown book. Shh. It's a secret.
No one knows.
No one knows. But this movie stars someone named Tom Shanley, who's a forest park ranger?
Park ranger.
Park ranger.
Wyoming.
Like in Utah or something.
Wyoming.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. But he has a psychic connection to his sister, Jessica, and does she get killed or she kill herself? I think she just gets...
She gets killed.
Okay. So he travels to Italy, where she was modeling, to try and solve...
In Milan.
What?
In Milan, yes.
Oh, in Milan. She travels to Milan, Italy to...
Oh my god, fuck. Fuck this fucking movie.
He travels to Milan, Italy to solve her murder with the help of... Who's going to solve the murder, Brad?
Donald Pleasance.
Oh, man. Donald Pleasance in 1985, doing this between Halloween movies.
Yes.
Playing a rather tired detective. Now, there's a crucial scene to this movie. It's not a spoiler, but it's the most important thing you could ever watch. What is it?
That would be our park ranger and Mr. Donald Pleasance at a Wendy's salad bar. Which is one of the most bizarre things you'll ever see. Not because anything bizarre happens, but because they are at a Wendy's salad bar. Now, you had told me, and I might have told this on the show, I don't know, but I'm going to tell it again. You had said that there was a Giallo that had Donald Pleasance where they eat at a Wendy's salad bar, and I said, you mean like what Wendy's used to have, where they used to have the salad bar, like back in the 80s and early 90s? And you said, yeah. And I'm like, you're full of shit. You're lying to me. I don't know if I told you that, but I did not believe you.
Oh.
And then you sent me this, and sure enough, they're at a Wendy's salad. I mean, it looked like any Wendy's salad. It was weird. It is so odd.
And then Donald Pleasance has one of the Wendy's bibs tucked into his tie. So
yes.
Oh my god, it's so good.
He does, apparently, I don't know, maybe when he wasn't shooting on Phenomena, he was like, I'm going to go make, 100,000 lira right quick. I don't know. Because he's in a few Italian horror films. He's in, what's that one you told me to never watch that he's in?
Oh, Fatal Frames.
In something. Yeah, he's in Fatal Frames, which I have, but I haven't seen.
Oh my god.
And of course he's in Phenomena. But it kind of reminds me of how in the early 60s, Christopher Lee was in a slew of Italian horror films, and you're just like, he just went on vacation. That's what he did.
Yep.
He just went over there and was in a bunch of movies. He's in The Whipping the Body. He's in The Virgin of Nuremberg. He's in a few.
Nothing underneath. A lot of style. The ending is amazing. Unfortunately, try to forget the video box art when you Google this movie because it is a still from the end, which is not... Ugh. Don't put that on your box, people.
No.
It's just the ending is very beautiful and very amazing. It's worth the price of admission just to see that. There's some really brutal murders, too, if I recall correctly.
No, there is. On the ruining tip, also, Wikipedia ruins A Blade in the Dark because it says Michele Soave as Tony/Linda.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah.
That's retarded.
Boo.
No one likes that.
No one does. Hey.
Yeah?
I'd like to give a shout out to David Ladd.
Oh, snap.
Yes, David Ladd, whom I know through the Book of Faces. Very, very savvy guy. He's into a lot of really good movies. I noticed that he had liked the show page. So Snoopy McSnooperton that I am, I looked on his page and he had a big, his profile picture, not his profile picture, but the bigger one, the banner.
Right.
Was from Dracula AD 1972, which is a personal favor of mine.
Heck yeah.
And so I messaged him and said, anyone that has a banner picture of Dracula AD 1972 is already my friend. So he listens to the show. He's friends. He found out about us through the venerable Nashi cast. So obviously the dude's got impeccable taste. But yeah, anyway, I told him, I'm like, I need to give you a shout on the show.
Thank you for listening, David.
Yes, thank you very much. Please continue to.
Oh, did I tell you I got a comment from Martin Luther Presley?
Read it to us. Tell us.
I will. Let me go to the page here. I posted 2 episodes, the 1960s horror and the Demon 6 episode on the blog, and MLP, as he calls himself, commented. He said, 2 more enjoyable episodes, gracias. Demon 6 sounded strangely appealing, and those Corman Poe movies have been on my to-watch list for so damn long it's unbelievable. Since summer's coming up, they'll probably have to wait a bit longer. Summer is always pretty much no film watching time for me, but I feel a Poe, Corman, and a Demons retrospective is due come autumn. In one of the latest episodes, you asked for suggestions. Some of these you might have done way back, and some I've suggested before. So here's some movies that Martin Luther Presley says we should do.
Okay.
Intruder.
Interesting.
Very. Slumber Party Massacre 1 through 3. Daughters of Darkness and Vampires, and that's Vampires with a Y.
Right. Laraz.
Exactly. Hell of the Living Dead.
Probably not going to do that one, MLP.
Sorry, I actually don't like that movie.
I do, but I'm not going to put Richard through that.
Thank you. Dorm That Drip Blood.
Ah, yes.
Thou Shall Not Kill, except... Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's Larry Cohen.
No, it's the Raimi movie. The Raimis are involved somehow.
Oh, that's the Sergeant Stryker.
Yeah, I think that's the one he's talking about.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, the Cohen movies God told me to.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
He has one here called Embodiment of Evil. I'm gonna look that up real quick. I don't know what that one is.
I don't either.
Do-do-do.
First of all, let me say, Martin Luther Presley, people that say autumn instead of fall are so classy.
Let's see. Embodiment of Evil. I'm coming up with the Coffin Joe movie. 2008. This is his big comeback movie, I think. Because Coffin Joe did some really strange shit in the 60s and 70s, which I've watched quite a few of his early weird, bizarre freak-out movies.
I've seen the first one, and I did not care for it.
I liked it quite a bit. The second one is just more of the same, but with a color sequence slapped in it.
He's got... His fingernails really bother me.
Me too. I hate them. I hate them. It
makes it very hard for me to watch.
It's distracting, and not in the way he thinks it is. He also recommends that we talk about Vampire Circus.
Okay.
Dr. Phibes 1 and 2.
Now that's probably going to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to go ahead and say that.
Life Force.
That's probably going to happen too.
That's a fine, crazy, nuts movie. The People Under the Stairs. Here's one that now I actually remember that Martin Luther Presley has asked us on more than one occasion to cover this next film. George Romero's Night Riders.
Oh, yeah. You know, he asked me if I'd seen that yet, because I did get the Blu-ray. Now, I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah.
And I know that you are not so excited to see it. But
No.
the thing is it is so long, you really have to pick a good time to devote that time to.
Right.
Because when I see it, I'm also going to write it into Profondo Cinema and let them know.
Oh, yeah. They are
what I
the
think about
Romero masters.
Yeah, they know a lot about Romero. They know a lot about a lot of stuff, but they know about Romero.
Mm-hmm. Martin Luther Presley also suggests the Hatchet movies 1 through 3, which he says he hated at first and now loves them, except for 3.
I kind of like those.
I saw the first one.
I'd go.
It was okay.
Yeah, I'd never go to bat for them. Elizabeth likes them a lot. She thinks they're fun. 3, I'd watch them again. I don't know if we'll think about it.
Yep. He says any Jess Franco.
That's gonna happen.
Oh
too.
yeah.
More Franco. Don't worry.
I know Jeffrey and I in a future episode will be doing Faceless.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yes, and then you and I will also be doing Faceless later.
Yeah.
Kind of a dueling kind of thing.
Oh, man. Oh, that sounds like fun. And last but not least, he says, and of course, John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars.
Right.
Which, just came up in the Soul Survivors episode.
It did, it's true.
So he says, some of these I've had on my shelf for some time now and still haven't found the courage to watch. Others are favorites. Some should be on my doorstep soon. Feel free to ignore all my suggestions. I'll still be listening. Cheers, Martin Luther Presley. There's some great stuff there.
I get a Facebook message from him every once in a while, and I really enjoy it because he's a nice fellow.
He's a very cool guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yep. He's the German contingent of our listeners.
Absolutely. He is still pissed off about the sinister eyes of Dr. Orloff. I stand behind that film 100%.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, the other day, David Person was asking for some Franco film recommendations. And I said, A Virgin Among the Living Dead, Eugenie Desaad, and even though Martin Luther Presley hated it, The Sinister Eyes of Dr. Orloff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yes, we will.
No, we need to get back. We need to do a Franco.
We definitely need to do a Franco. Well, I think we'll
people
choose one.
Freaking love
we'll figure out one to do.
Yeah. People freaking love Franco.
I'm excited about that Stephen Thrower book.
Oh, man.
That is going to be epic, dude. Simon, our pal and friend of the show, and also pal and also friend of the show, said, what about your top 10 Gialli, you dick lickers? I might be paraphrasing what he actually said.
That sounds a lot like a paraphrase.
Just repeat that, but with a French accent.
Do the British.
But you still wouldn't be Simon, because he is a Brit. And we always do whatever they tell us. Because of all the tea we dumped.
They're our older cousins.
I know. I read the history, Bork.
I gotcha.
So, Brad, let's hear your top 10. Do it.
Number 10, Murder Obsession.
Yes, very nice.
Thank you. I think we all know that we're going to talk about Murder Obsession sooner or later.
I can't wait.
Number 9, The Bloodstained Shadow. Number 8, Umberto Lenzi's Paranoia.
Oh.
And the best way to tell you which one that is, it's the one where Carol Baker is a race car driver.
Ooh, provocative choice.
Thank you. Number 7, The Corruption of Chris Miller.
Nice.
A Spanish Giallo.
Oh, man.
Which is one that we got as a bootleg, and I immediately fell in love with.
It's good stuff.
Number 6, another Spanish Giallo, The Blue Eyes of the Broken Doll, which is the best of the Paul Naschy Gialli, although I like all of them, really.
I totally agree with you. That didn't make my list because of a certain scene.
Yes, I understand. The one where,
Yep.
Number 5, Luciano Ercoli's Death Walks on High Heels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. That's a go-to Giallo for me.
Wow.
It's got Susan Scott, some interesting wigs. I mean, all the things that you really need in a successful Giallo.
Absolutely.
Number 4, Hatchet for the Honeymoon.
Oh, wow.
Mario Bava.
I'm surprised. That's way up
This
there.
is one... Yeah. This is one that gets better every time I see it. The Blu-ray really helped quite a bit. Number 3, Sergio Martino's All the Colors of the Dark.
Oh, I've been wanting to rewatch that.
Everybody thought I was going to say Torso or The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward.
I know.
Nope. All the Colors of the Dark.
Wow.
Number 2, The Case of the Bloody Iris,
Nice.
which I have to agree with you. If you're going to show somebody a Giallo, that's the first one you show, I think. It is a solid one.
Nice.
Solid. With the first lady and the first gentleman of the genre, George Hilton and Edwige Fenech.
Oh, baby.
And my number 1 is The Fifth Chord.
Oh.
Yep. It's the old Franco Nero.
Yeah.
It's got some really nice cinematography from Vittorio Storaro. I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Brad, there's not a Fulci on the list.
I know.
Brad, there's not an Argento on the list. I wasn't even going to put a Bava, but I love Hatchet for the Honeymoon so much.
Nice.
Basically, of course, all of this could change. I usually say The Fifth Chord's my favorite.
Right.
I wanted to include some of the different subgenres of the Giallo. Of course, Hatchet for the Honeymoon, that's who the killer is right off the bat. Paranoia is a little bit of the idle rich people and the more of the psychological thriller. But no, that's my top 10.
Wow.
I went through that. It took 4 revisions. I knew that it would be a different list than yours. Like, there's some films on here, well, really only one that I would think you'd be like, there is no way that would ever make my top 10, and that would be Paranoia.
Right.
I think that, when push comes to shove, a lot of these other ones, maybe not The Corruption of Chris Miller, I don't know. But yeah, that's my top 10. Fifth Chord number 1, Murder Obsession number 10, 8 in between them. Richard, what are your top 10 Gialli?
Number 10 on my list is Devil in the Brain. Which is fucking fantastic.
Indeed it is.
My number 9 is Death Walks at Midnight. Yeah. Number 8 is Bay of Blood, or Twitch of the Death Nerve, as I like to call it.
Nice.
Number 7 is Don't Torture a Duckling. Number 6 is House with the Laughing Windows.
Classic.
Number 5 is My Dear Killer.
Ooh.
That's
really above the House of the Laughing Windows?
Yeah, I went with which one I want to watch now. That's kind of like how I put this list together. Although I wish we'd agreed before this to do no Fulci, no Bava, no Argento, because now I like your list better already. Anyway, number 4, the night Evelyn came out of her grave.
Ooh, yeah.
Which, yeah, talk about a movie I want to step inside and live forever. Just don't jump in the pool. Stay out of the pool. Yeah, stay out of it. Number 3 is The Dead or Alive.
Ooh, wow.
Which was tough to keep out of the number 1 spot because I just watched it and it blew my fucking mind.
We should do a show on that one.
Absolutely. Oh, first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is a very familiar one, Case of the Bloody Iris.
Wow.
So this is the only 2 that we matched. It's the only one we matched, and we matched it in sequence.
Yeah, we did.
That's awesome. Okay, number 1, and this was really, really difficult. Number 1 of my favorite Giallo of all time right now, The Pajama Girl Case.
Yes. Yes, starring your favorite actor, Ray Milland.
Just kidding. That's not my number 1. I was just joshing.
Is it The Killer Must Kill Again?
Yep. And
it
only beat out Sex of the Witch.
Ugh.
And what did I say today? French Sex Murders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloodsucker Leads to Dance.
Oh, I don't like any of those movies. No. My number 1 is 7 Bloodstained Orchids.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I really wish that I had done the non-Bava, non-Argento, non-Fulci clause, because your list was so great.
Well, I'll tell you. At one point, the Psychic was on here.
Yeah.
And I took it off. There wasn't even going to be a Bava, but I have really gotten into Hatchet for the Honeymoon as of late. Had there been an Argento, I think it probably would have been The Cat of Nine Tails.
Yeah, me too. That or Tenebrae.
Yeah.
It would have been that or Tenebrae.
Yeah. Whenever I make these lists, I don't ever stray from the 70s. If I make a slasher list, I never stray out of the 70s or 80s, ever.
Right.
I actually never go past 84. Because I just want to do the classics.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I am not as big a fan of Don't Torture a Duckling as everyone else seems to be.
Yeah. Well, it's so somber.
I put that in, I don't know, sometime late last year, and I got about 20 minutes in, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this.
Ooh. No, I can't turn that one off. I love that one. It's not a fun one. It's not like, I mean, it's got some unintentional stuff in it that's kind of fun. Like, it's just so relentlessly trashy and ridiculous in that way. But it's just such a sad, painful movie.
I don't think it's as good as Murder Rock, but...
Nothing's as good as Murder Rock, dude.
That's true. You're right. You're right. No, I wanted a Lindsay. I had trouble keeping 7 Bloodstained Orchids out.
Yeah.
But I like Carol Baker quite a bit. It was almost Knife of Ice. I like Knife of Ice despite, as you so eloquently and correctly put it, Carol Baker plays a mute is mildly retarded.
Yeah.
That's a quote from the book, actually, from the Giallo Meltdown book. That I recently read that part lately, but I didn't need to because I've always remembered you saying that. There's a few things, more than a few, but some of the things from reviews that you've said have really stuck in my mind. That's one of them. The other one is that you'd rather throw yourself down a flight of stairs than to watch the hearse again.
Yep.
Which I've always thought was very funny.
Thank you. No, I seriously, like, I am now a Carol Baker fan. Like, Lamberto Lenzi wore me down. Like, he kept putting Carol Baker in his movies, and I straight up did not like her at all. I did not get it. I didn't understand. She seems like this weird monster that he kept putting in his movies, and now I actually like her. I want to revisit all of her stuff.
I am easily susceptible to to peer pressure because I really like the one that she was in that's got Erica Blanc in it too, and I can't remember the name. And no wonder, because the Baker ones all have the same name. They're all named the same. And then
Sweet Body of Deborah?
No, that's not it. That's the one that they did before Lindsay.
Oh.
That's not actually Lindsay.
Fuck.
So Sweet, So Perverse.
Yeah, that's the one. Shit.
I really liked it, and you're like, I don't think it's very good. And the next time I saw it, I'm like, yeah, it's not very good. Am I saying that because I agree with him, or am I saying it because...
Dude, I just remembered a movie I wish I'd put on my list.
Oh, what's that?
Flower with the Petals of Steel.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love that.
That's a Carol Baker.
I know, that's what made me think of it. So yes, if I had not had Fulci and Bava, I would have put a couple different ones on there. And I think Flower with the Petals of Steel, which is surprisingly solid. Good movie.
Now, is that the one that's also... Which one is also known as Death at the Deep End of the Pool?
That's The Fourth Victim. That's
The Fourth Victim, that's right.
I can't remember who's in that with Carol Baker, but...
and that's not a Lindsay, I don't think.
No.
Is it? It's not a Lindsay. Oh.
Somebody really cool shows up in that I really like. You don't see enough of. The chick from The Night Evelyn Came Out of Her Grave. Damn it. I gotta look it up.
I'll edit this part out, because I remembered it with my brain, all by myself. All by yourself.
No, it's interesting to see that you've got the Dead or Alive so high now.
Oh my god, it's like, so good.
Because I don't think, it probably wouldn't have made your top 10 when we did our first episode, would it?
It might have been in a low, it might have been like 7 or 8, because I've always really loved it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, Marina Malfatti shows up.
Malfatti?
In The Fourth Victim. I love her. She did not do enough Gialli. Because what did she do? Well, I've got her under my skin here. She was in 45 credits, but what about thrillers? The Red Queen Kills 7 Times, 7 Bloodstained Orchids, Run Psycho Run, which I've always wanted to see. Someone sent me a copy of that years ago. It's from 1968 and had no subtitles.
Oh, you've learned Italian since then.
Yeah. Let's see. She was also in... That's all the thrillers I recognize.
It's not enough.
Not nearly enough. No, you're very right. Oh, well, she was in All the Colors of the Dark, which is funny. That only comes up as a horror movie. What is this movie? Oh. She was also in A Black Ribbon for Deborah, which is a Exorcist ripoff. Have you ever heard of something called Il Prato Macchiato di Rosso?
No.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's the red stained lawn. Oh no. Well, that's something to look forward to.
Not me.
Yeah, Jeffrey and I are going to cover that movie, and I hated it. I'm going to give it another chance, though. We'll see what happens. There's our top 10 lists for Gialli. Simon, I hope you listened.
I hope he did.
I seriously want to do this again, like a month from now. You okay? Yeah. Okay. It's all right. I want to do this.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That was awesome. I want to do this again in a month because I'll have a totally different list.
Yeah, I would too.
Giallo Meltdown, a Moviethon Diary. On sale now, people.
On sale now. Richard walked the dog because the dog needed walking. Do not Human Centipede the book, people.
That's actually an option. Sew the book to your mouth or butt. So, yes, the next time Brad and I are on this show, I believe that we will have done our prom night episode.
Who can tell?
Our prom night megasode.
Megasode, people. You're going to be listening to that shit for days.
Yep.
This is all the whiskey you possess?
Thanks for listening,
this is all
folks.
the whiskey you possess?
This was fun.
I totally
agree. This is all
agree.
the whiskey you possess?
I loved every minute. Buy the book.
This is all the whiskey
Buy
you
the
possess?
book. Good night, folks.
See you later.
This is all the whiskey you possess?
If you would like to contact Hello, This is the Doomed Show, please email us at doomedmoviethong@gmail.com or check us out at facebook.com/Hello Doomed Show. We are also on Twitter. Sorry about that. At Doomed Movie Thong. #Hello Doomed Show. For the old ass episodes that you missed, find our archived episodes at doomedmoviethong.com. Don't forget to eat fruit and veggies.
Hello, my name is Rod Barnett.
I'm Troy Gwynn.
And we are your genial co-hosts for NashyCast, the podcast about the films of Paul Naschy. If you don't know who Paul Naschy is, you need to learn.
Spanish horror icon, writer, director, actor, makeup artist.
He is all of these things and more. Paul Naschy, one of the greatest genre filmmakers of all time. Do titles like Horror Rises from the Tomb,
Vengeance of the Mummy, Werewolf Shadow,
House of Psychotic Women,
Blue Eyes of the Broken Doll,
Mark of the Werewolf make you want to see more?
Watch the film, then come hear our stunning, brilliant commentary.
Stunning and brilliant. That's us. Think that's too egotistical? Think that sounds silly? Think we come off as assholes?
Look, if nothing else, let us tell you this. Blood, nudity, beautiful women, werewolves in turtlenecks.
Nipples. Lots of nipples. Both male and female. Yeah. I don't know if anybody's going to want to listen to us after this, man. Find us at The Bloody Pit of Rod, or
you can subscribe to us on iTunes.
Give us a listen. And if we scare you too much, well, maybe Spanish horror is not your thing. I don't know. 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 Horror is not your thing.